Hello, and welcome to your 40-minute vinyasa. I'm Ashley, and I will be guiding you through your practice today. If you don't already have a mat out and rolled out, go ahead and take a minute to do so. Also, any other props that you may need, so a strap, blocks, blanket, things of that nature. If you don't have those things, you can always grab something like a towel, a belt, a necktie, something of that nature. Bolsters, good substitutes for bolsters are pillows, couch cushions, things of that nature, and then of course any blanket should work. But it's just nice to have throughout the practice to help us feel supported. And I always tell my students that we tend to open more and feel more supported whenever we have a support, for lack of a better word. Whenever we have support, we're able to open a little more and we're able to fully exhale and let go. So, with that being said, go ahead and come to a comfortable seat, sitting nice and tall. Bring the eyes to close, hands on tops of the thighs, or here on cupping the knees. Take a big inhale. Open the mouth, let the tongue out. Lion's breath. Inhale through the nose again. Open the mouth, exhale with the tongue. Posture either. We're going to begin our Ujjayi breath here, which is the breath we use throughout our practice to help build heat in the body. Helps us to move, helps us to feel our practice. Inhales and exhales are both through the nose. And you'll inhale for a count of 4, perhaps 5 if you have a little more volume in the lungs. And then exhale for the same amount. So go ahead and release all the air in the lungs. Maybe even move a little side to side to help release. Inhale through the nose. Pause, exhale with a constriction in the throat. Back out through the nose. Inhale. Pause, exhale with constriction. The benefit far outweighs any kind of worry you can have with other people kind of looking at you or looking at you funny. So the nice thing too is if you're a little shy practicing at home, it can help you kind of release some of those inhibitions you may have. Make sure as I'm talking here, you're still continuing that breath, building heat in the body. Now we're going to blink the eyes open. Bring the hands out to the side, pressing the palms away from you, pressing like you're pushing the floor. So the hands should be about 4 inches away from the floor. And you're pushing away. You should feel a nice stretch through the chest and into the arms. Flip the palms. Inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, twist to the right. Cupping the knee with the left hand, looking over the shoulder. Inhale, rise. Exhale, twist to the left, just warming up the spine. Some lateral twist side to side. Inhale. And again to the right. Inhale overhead, and again to the left. Nice. Inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, come over the knees, coming into tabletop. Knees directly underneath the hips, hands directly underneath the shoulders. We'll begin our series of cat-cow. You can choose to keep the toes tucked or untucked. Whenever you're ready, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Inhale. Exhale, round the back. Allow the crown of the head to lower. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, round, dropping the head. Continue at your own pace, so you might be right with me, and that's fine. Or you can be maybe just a little faster or slower. I always like to encourage my students to go a little slower in the beginning and really feel the benefits of each individual pose. In cow, I like to feel the stretch in the abdomen, the stretch in the chest. In cat, I love to feel puffing up the shoulders, the stretch in between the shoulder blades. Come back to a neutral spine if you haven't done so already. And we're going to look right and left. Changing up the direction of the spine. The other thing you can do is start to roll the neck from side to side. Rotate the hips side to side. Maybe even in circles, clockwise and counterclockwise. Again, these are poses that really tend to feel silly whenever you're practicing with a group of people, but when you're on your own, or unless you're able to kind of let go of those inhibitions, it's kind of nice to loosen up the body a little more than usual. Nice. Bring the knees together, tuck the toes, walk the hands back. This is a good time in case you really have a lot of pressure in your feet or tightness in your feet. You can grab blocks or grab some books or anything that can help you with height. The other thing you can do is if you have knee issues, you can bring a blanket underneath the knees. I'm going to sit back on the heels, and I'm going to bring my hands to the tops of my thighs, shoulders relaxing away from the ears. Taking those deep Ujjayi breaths, really stretching out the soles of the feet. I don't know if you saw me there, but I was making sure all 10 toes are on the mat. Take a moment to make sure you don't have more pressure on one foot than the other. You may have more weight on one side. If this gets to be too much, you just bring the weight forward, away from the heels. This is absolutely a pose. The more you do it, the more amazing it can feel and surprising it can be to open up the soles of the feet, especially if you're a runner and get plantar fasciitis. This is fantastic. Nice. Come up away from the feet. Move your props to the side if you used them. Coming back to our tabletop. You can flutter the feet a little if you like, just to get some blood flow back to the toes. Now we're going to bring the left hand slightly center. Inhale and bring the right arm up, looking up toward the thumb. Exhale, thread the needle. So the arm comes through, shoulder and side of the face comes on the mat. If you have trouble making it, then you can stop and put a blanket underneath to help raise you up. And I want this to be an active stretch. So the left hand is continually pressing into the mat. I'm rolling open my upper body. I'm bringing my left shoulder back. Feeling the stretch in the back of the right shoulder blade. Breathing here. Inhale, press into the palm. Right hand comes up. Exhale, bring it right back down. Switching it out. Right hand slightly comes center. Inhale, left arm comes up. Exhale, thread the needle through, shoulder, side of the face. Again, bring a prop or a blanket down if you need it. Pressing into the right hand. This is where our Ujjayi breath comes in handy. the inhale, press into the right hand, lift the left up, bring it right back down. Nice. Hands are forward, so the first and second finger are toward the top of the mat. Hands are wide, tuck the toes. Inhale, lift the hips, coming into our first down dog. Keeping a generous bend in the knees, the belly resting on the tops of the thighs. Head should be right in between the upper arms. So here we're focusing primarily more on the upper body than the lower body. It's a little bit of strengthening and stretching. Inhale, come high on the ball of the feet. Exhale, lower the heels down. The heels don't make it to the mat perfectly fine. I always leave it up to my students whether you want to pedal this out, bringing one knee into the midline and then the other, or if you want to stay in stillness. Just make sure you don't compromise your pose, you don't hold your breath. Exhale, you're going to walk your feet forward. Inhale, lift ever so slightly. Exhale, forward fold. Make sure you don't lock out your knees. Allow the crown of the head to feel heavy. Several breaths here. This is a great opportunity also if your hands don't make it to the floor. You can bring the hands to the shins if you need to, or more of a bend in the legs. Another fantastic thing for blocks is to put the hands here on the blocks to help fill the space, especially if we have very, very tight hamstrings. On the next inhale, start to bend the knees even more, rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Head comes up last. I do apologize. I tried to put my camera in such a way that I didn't really cut off my head too much. It may do it a little bit throughout, but I'll try to keep moving so that way most of my body's in view. Coming into mountain pose, Tadasana, spreading the toes, bringing the shoulders nice and wide, not pressing the sternum forward, but at neutral. Hands are at the side, palms facing out. Engaging the kneecaps, the thighs, tucking in the pelvis, staying with our Ujjayi breath. Going through a few rounds of sun salutations to warm us up even more before we begin our practice. Inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, prayer through center, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift, hands on shins. Exhale, release. Inhale, flip the palms, coming up. So we're doing a few half ones before we do full ones. Exhale, fold, coming through center, prayer. Down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Flip the palms. Inhale, reverse swan dive, coming all the way up. Exhale, prayer through center, folding from the hips. Allowing the crown of the head to feel heavy. Inhale, halfway lift, palms on shins, staying here for a few breaths. So here we're tucking in the belly, strengthening the back, imagining that we're one nice long line from the crown of the head through the tailbone, not locking out the knees. Exhale, lower down, walk the hands out to our down dog. So I'm changing up our traditional sun salutation here just a bit. Perfectly fine to change them up. And stay here for 3 more breaths. Inhale, come high on the ball of the feet. Bend the knees, look up to the hands. Walk the feet up on the exhale. Lowering down. See if you can come down even more. If not, perfectly fine. Inhale, flip the palms, reverse swan dive, coming all the way up. Exhale, palms through center, coming down. I don't know why that's so hard for me to say today. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release, step back to plank. Staying in our plank pose for a few breaths. I always like to wiggle back and forth on my toes. You really want to puff up the space between the shoulders, right back here. You also want to try to make sure you don't have the tailbone too high or too low. We all kind of know those people in gym class that kind of came up here with their push-ups or really had to sway back. I have one nice long line of energy here. On your exhale, I'm going to lower my knees. Coming down, knees, chest, chin. Lower chaturanga. All the way down. Releasing fully to our mat. I'm going to move my props out of the way here. Keeping the hands right by the side of the body, elbows tucked in. Inhale and lift. Coming into Cobra. So I came up all the way with my Cobra because we've been doing quite a bit with the spine. So my flexibility is feeling pretty good. If you have low back issues or if Cobra just doesn't feel good, just lessen the degree of how high you come. Make sure your neck doesn't come into the shoulders. One nice long line. Exhale, lower down nice and slow. Bending the knees, letting the feet windshield wiper side to side. Nice. And then bringing the hands right back by the side. Inhale, press up. First through tabletop, tucking the toes. Inhale, bring the hips high. Back to our down dog. Inhale, come high on the ball of the feet. Bend the knees looking forward. This time just stepping our right foot forward. Left knee comes down, untuck the toes. Come high on our thigh. Take a big inhale. Exhale, lower down the pelvis forward and down simultaneously. So take a peek at your thigh, at your knee and ankle. The knee shouldn't go past the ankle or the toe. The pelvis is forward. Nice IT band stretch here. Stretch for the top of the thigh on the left side. And then we're trying our best to release our right hip. When I say trying our best, I say that because our right hip is working to keep us in this pose, and it's really hard to release muscles that are working. It's possible. Inhale, lift the pelvis. Bring the knee back by the left. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Back to down dog. Just for a breath. Inhale, high on the ball of the feet, bend the knees, look forward. Step the left foot forward, lower the right knee, untuck the toes, same thing. Come high on the thigh, inhale. Exhale, lower the pelvis forward and down. Again, take a look at your front leg. It's okay to take a second. Move the foot forward or out to the edge of the mat. Release the left hip. Feel the stretch in the right IT band. Inhale, lift. Bringing the left knee back by the right. Bringing our hands back down to the mat. Tuck the feet. Lift the hips back to our down dog. Inhale, high on the ball of the feet. Bend the knees and walk the feet up to the hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift. And exhale, release down. Flip the palms. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Coming all the way up, nice and tall, 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 tall. Exhale, we're gonna lower the right hand down. Left comes up and over. Back up a little here so you can see. Sorry. Inhale, right arm comes up to meet the left. Exhale, right arm comes over toward the left. So now we're stretching the right side. Inhale, back up, both arms. Exhale, fold from the hips, coming forward and down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release, step back to plank. Lower the knees. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, lift, cobra or up dog. Exhale, lower down all the way onto the mat. Bending at the knees. Windshield wiper, just giving our low back a bit of a break. Releasing the feet back down. Tucking the toes. Pressing ourselves up first through tabletop, then lifting the hips. Returning to down dog. Inhale, come high on the ball of the feet. Bend the knees, look forward. Step the right foot forward. Spin the left heel down. Coming up, warrior one. Not a good day to try a brand new yoga pants. I'm learning that now. And I should have put on tried and true ones to record a video, but you live and you learn. So here in warrior one, heel alignment. We have our hips forward. So you're continuously pushing the right hip back, left hip forward. We're gonna stay in this warrior for a few breaths. I know we've already been here for a few breaths, but I want to work on a little bit of strengthening here. Exhale, hands come down to prayer. Heel toe of the front foot to the midline. Open the arms wide, coming into warrior two. So front heel bisects the back foot. Arms are strong but not taut. Gaze or drishti is over the front two fingers. Strong warrior. Inhale, lift the palms, straighten the front leg, gaze comes up. Exhale, come right back down. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, flip the palms, exhale. Last time, inhale, exhale. Cartwheel the hands down to frame the foot, step back, flow through. Back to your down dog for the left side. Inhale, high on the ball of the feet, bend the knees, look towards the hands, step the left foot forward, right heel comes down. Inhale, coming up, warrior one. Again, back leg straight, front heel, back heel in alignment, pressing the left hip back, right hip forward. Staying in our warrior one. Exhale, bring the hands down through heart center, heel toe the front foot. Open into our warrior two. Flip the palms, inhale, straighten the leg, look up. Exhale, bend. Inhale, back up. Exhale, bend. Last time, inhale, coming up. Exhale, bend. Cartwheel the hands down, frame the foot. Step back, flow through. Lifting, and then returning back to our down dog. So your choice here, whether you want to stay in down dog or lower the knees wide, big toes touching. Coming into child's pose. You can have an active rest or a restful rest. Completely up to you. Right foot forward, left heel spins back, inhale, come up, warrior one. Try to really challenge yourself here. Widen your stance, bring a right ankle to your right leg. I can't tell you how many times I've seen a short stance Someone just barely bending the knee. The middle of the body stays right in the middle of your warrior stance. Exhale, bring the hands down to heart center, heel toe the front foot. Open into warrior two. Hips are turned to the side. Lift the palms. Inhale, come up, straighten the front leg. Exhale down. Do it 2 more times. Returning to our warrior two. We're gonna inhale and straighten the front leg, turning the right toes. So now our left and right toes are parallel. I'm gonna turn around just so you can see. So that way you don't have to look at my backside. Sometimes people like to bring their heels to the back of the mat to make sure they're even. So you can do that if you like. Have your stance as wide as what you're comfortable with. I really like to bring my Prasarita really wide so I can get a little further down, but to each his own, make sure it's comfortable for you. So once you're in alignment, excuse me, inhale, bring your arms wide. Inhale. Exhale, fold from the hips. Nice and slow, nice flat back. Hands coming down in alignment with the feet if possible. Another great opportunity to grab your blocks if you'd like. Make sure you don't have your knees locked out. Allow the crown of the head to fall heavy. The bend in the elbows is back. So we're not having this here, we're having this where the elbows come back. Stay here several breaths. If you want to take an opportunity to come a little wider, so the crown of the head can come down, maybe even on a block, you can certainly do that. My hair is getting in my way, so I'm gonna have to come back up. On your inhale, start to engage your core and your back, coming up halfway to pause. Hands come to the hips. Inhale, come all the way up. I'll turn back around so it makes sense. Here. Now we're gonna turn our left toes. Now we're facing the back of the mat. We're gonna come back to warrior two at the back of our mat. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame your foot. Step the left foot back. Flow through. Back to your down dog. Inhale, high on the ball of the feet. Bend the knees, look forward. Step the left foot forward. Spin the back heel down. Coming up. Warrior one. Left leg is forward. Again, just so you can see me a little better, I'm just going to flip this around so you can see. You should be at the back of your mat. Again, challenge yourself. More of a bend in the front leg. Widen your stance. Exhale, hands come down to heart center, heel to the front foot, open up, warrior two. Flip the palms, inhale, straighten the leg, look up. Exhale, back down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, back up. Turn the left toes so they're parallel with the right. Coming back to another version of our Prasarita. So here you can grab, we'll turn around so you can see, grab opposite elbows. You can come into what's called reverse namaste, where you have prayer hands at the back. Or you can clasp, elbows, hands, and straighten the arms. So that's a variation I'm gonna take here. Inhale and lift the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale, fold from the hips. Bringing the arms up and overhead. If you took the variation I did. Again, take care not to lock out your knees. Tiny bend in the knees. halfway, hands on hips. Inhale, coming all the way up. Remember now you're at the back of your mat, so you're like this. And now you're gonna turn your right toes forward, coming into warrior two to the front of your mat. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, step back, lift the hips, coming into our down dog. Inhale and lift, high on the balls of the feet, knees come down, walk the hands in, sitting back on the heels. If this isn't comfortable, then you can just sit in a comfortable seat on your mat. Taking just a few deep breaths here. So we're gonna come into a pose to stretch the front of the ankles. It's an area that's often overlooked. I'm gonna be so mad at myself for wearing these new pants. Oh my gosh. I've adjusted them like 600 times. Anyway, so if this is really strenuous for you, then you can do a different variation where you're sitting down with a cross-leg seat and then just gently, actually you want to bring the bottom leg out and you can pull the foot in towards you to get a stretch on the top of the ankle into the calf, not the calf, but the shin. That's the area we want to focus on. If you want to participate in the variation I'm trying, then you can grab blocks if you like, or books, anything to give you a little bit of height. Sitting nice and tall, settling in. Take all the time you need to settle in to really set up for a good pose. Take a big inhale. And exhale, lean back ever so slightly, lifting the knees, stretching the tops of the feet and the ankles. So I have my right foot in a bit of a weird way. So let me adjust that just a bit. So I can return back to my stretch. There we go. Hold your core. Stay nice and tall. Exhale, lower down. Come into tabletop, just to flutter kick the feet a little bit. So we stretch the soles of the feet, the tops of the ankles. Back to a seat. Remove your props to the side if you have them. We're also going to stretch the other parts of the ankle as well. So grab your strap or towel or any kind of strap leg thing that you have at home. Come back on the back here. Just check my time, we're doing good. Okay. So keeping the left sole of the foot on the mat, bring the strap around the ball of the right foot. We're actually going to take a big inhale, and then we're going to flex the toes toward the face. Only the toes. The stretch should be in the Achilles and calf. Make sure the head and shoulders stay on your mat. Excuse me. Release. And then now we're going to turn the foot inward. So the foot kind of turns in toward the midline. And we're going to stretch the outer ankle into the side of the lower leg. So if you haven't done this before, or if it's been a while, this can feel really, really intense. So make sure you only go just as far as what's sustainable for you. I know the first time I did this, after forever, I thought I had pulled something or done something wrong. I was a bit scared, but it was okay. And release. Nice. Bring the left foot up to meet the right. Just gently switching it out. Take a big inhale once again. And exhale, toes flex down toward the face. Make sure you don't lock out your knee. It can help if you imagine pressing your heel toward the ceiling. You want the stretch to be in the Achilles tendon and into the calf. Again, make sure head and shoulders stay on your mat. Inhale, gently release. Turn the foot in toward the midline. And then exhale, gentle pressure down with the strap. Feeling the stretch on the outer ankle into the side of the lower leg. Only go as far as what you can hold for a few breaths. Don't push yourself too hard in this pose. And gently release, remove the strap, setting it off to the side. And then just taking a peek at my time. Okay, doing good. All right, so for our last pose in Shavasana, I'm going to introduce Reclined Butterfly or Supta Baddha Konasana. If you don't want to come into Reclined Butterfly, you're more than welcome to do any other pose that calls to you for your Shavasana. So Corpse Pose is a very common one, like so. Sometimes people like to be on their belly in Crocodile Pose. Or if you have a wall accessible to you nearby, you can bring your tailbone to meet flush with the wall and have your legs straight up the wall. I'm going to come into that Supta Baddha Konasana like I mentioned, and if you want to follow along, you just bring your knees and your feet together, and then you allow the knees to fall open, soles of the feet are together. You may have to shimmy around just a little just to help bring the low back to the mat. We're just going to rest here for the next few moments. Release the Ujjayi breath. Try to avoid your mind of any thoughts, but if they do creep in, just acknowledge them. Don't be hard on yourself for allowing thoughts to pop in. It's very human for us to do that. And then let them float right on by. Deepen the breath, feeling your chest rise and fall. Begin small movements in fingers and toes. You took the Reclined Butterfly variation. Bring the hands to the outsides of the legs and helping the knees in together. Heel toe the feet to the edges of the mat, knees knocking in, pressing the low back into the mat. Shavasana, bring the knees side to side if you like. And then in your own time, with no rush, bring yourself up to a comfortable seat with your eyes lower closed. Hands come to heart center. In Anjali Mudra, our gesture of gratitude. I thank you for joining me today and allowing me to guide you through your practice. Give yourself thanks for coming to your mat and doing something good for your mind, for your body, and most importantly, your spirit. And as I end every practice, I do want all of you to know that you are truly fearfully and wonderfully made. Namaste. Thank you guys for joining me, and hopefully I'll see you in person sometime this summer, but we'll see. Anyway, bye.